crave jalebi? Well, today I'm going to show you a quick, easy recipe to make fresh, crispy jalebi within 30 minutes. We're going to start with half a cup of plain flour, and to this we are going to add 1 teaspoon of rice flour. To this I'll now add half a tablespoon of ghee and 1 tablespoon of plain yogurt. Just the normal type of yogurt is sufficient, you don't need the thick and creamy yogurt. And now mix all the ingredients together, as you say, mon nakine mix karanu. We're now going to add the water, just a little bit at a time. It's easier to add water, you can't take it out, and you want to control the thickness of the batter. Once you've achieved a smooth consistency, we add the eno and then continue to mix well. But a lot of people add eno at the end, but in this recipe we're going to add it now and continue to mix it just to get the bubbles into the batter. Notice the thickness of the batter. It's not too thick and it's not too thin. Once you've got it to this consistency, we're going to leave it aside whilst we make our syrup or chashni. It's always a good idea to use a deep pan for your syrup. This allows enough space for the jalebis to soak in the syrup properly. Take 1 cup of sugar, and to this we're going to add half a cup of water. Heat the mixture on a medium heat, stirring continuously. This should take between 7 to 10 minutes. Add the cardamom and then add a few strands of saffron. We'll now add a few drops of fresh lemon juice. The reason for this is to stop the syrup from crystallizing. Just a few drops of fresh lemon is all you need. In total, only let the syrup cook for 7 to 10 minutes. You don't want to take it to a 1-string consistency because that's too much. So just be very careful of that. We now add the food colour. Notice how we're adding the food colour to the syrup and not the batter, like most people do. The reason for this is if you add the colour to the batter, you can't tell whether the jalebis have absorbed the syrup or not. By adding the colour to the syrup, you can see the colour changing of the jalebis once they're done, and you can see that they fully absorbed the syrup properly. And we're now ready to fry our jalebis. You may find that your batter has thickened a little, and that's quite normal. So what we'll do is just add a little bit of water at a time just to get it to the right consistency before you put it in your piping bag or sauce. The way to check it is swirl the spoon around just to see how it falls off of the spoon, and that will give you an idea that if it was to come out of the piping bag hole or the sauce bottle, at what consistency it's going to fall out. We now pour the mixture into a piping bag. I normally find using a glass to stand the piping bag into helps. It's much easier, so pour it all in. Once you're ready, use a pair of scissors to snip a small hole to the size that you want your jalebi at the bottom of the piping bag. Before you start frying your jalebis, it's a good idea to put a small dollop of batter into the pan just to check the temperature of the oil. If you find that it rises straight to the top, then your oil is too hot. Switch off the heat for a little while until the temperature cools down to the required temp. When you find that the batter is only rising slowly to the surface of the oil, you know you've got the required temperature, and you can then turn the heat back on to get the oil to a medium temperature or medium heat. I prefer to use a piping bag because I can use two hands for control and vary where I place my hands, whereas with a sauce bottle I find that a little bit more uncomfortable to do, but you can use a sauce bottle. When you finish the circular motions, make sure to bring the batter or the bag back into the center of the jalebi, and that stops it all from falling apart or spreading away. You need to fry these until they're golden in colour. As soon as the jalebis are fried, they need to go straight into the chashni to make sure that they absorb the nice hot syrup properly. In the next steps, I'll show you the incorrect and correct piping techniques, if that helps. So what you'll notice here is if you try and pipe the jalebis too far apart of a circular motion, then they are going to spread during frying and you won't get a very good shape. So this is the incorrect technique, and next I'll show you the correct technique. So in this step I'm piping so that the circular motions are a little bit closer to each other, not too close and not too far apart. Also, after your last circular motion, what you need to do is bring your piping bag straight back into the center of the jalebi, and what this does is it stops the whole jalebi unraveling. Make sure that you place the fried jalebi straight into the syrup. And there you have it, fresh, crispy jalebi, homemade in less than 30 minutes. Enjoy and share with your friends, and please do subscribe to the channel or like the channel and maybe share with your friends too.